Hey, my name's Justin, and this is The Art of Repair. And today I'm going to teach you how to effectively search through your entire component graveyard at one time to find the component you need. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So at some point, one or another, it doesn't matter, you've had to find another component on another board for something you're working on. Okay, a lot of people have the misconception that the component that you're taking must be the exact same component if you're using as a donor component. So just as an example, if you're trying to find one specific backlight filter, a lot of people are under the assumption that you have to take that exact same one out of the exact same spot on the exact same type of board. Irrelevant, wrong, not true. Okay, I'm about to tell you something amazing. Okay, you can actually take these components off any board, Samsung, LG, Apple, doesn't matter. Okay, you can use any one of these. Now, the key here is being able to find their correct component. Now, in 2017, a lot of these components are so small that, unlike back in the day, where they used to have resistor codes and numbers and things directly on the component itself because it was big enough, that's not a thing anymore. Most of this stuff is completely unidentifiable if you just look at it, right in front of you in the microscope. It's the same. Even things of different specifications of the exact same component all look the same. Okay, but have no fear, I've got you. Okay, I'm about to show you a way that you can search through all of your donor stuff at one time so that you can find the component you need right now. Okay, and to do that, I'm going to go over the most basic component that you would be looking for across the board here, and I'm going to show you how to find them. Okay, all you're going to need is a schematic. If your schematic already has the component board, like basic component board view on it, you should be good. If it doesn't, then you're going to also need a board view. Okay, you can either use general board view files or you can use your ZXW tool depending on what kind of device you're actually trying to find the component for. So with all that being said, let's dive right in this thing. I don't know, we're not going in the microscope. We're not doing that today. But we are going to check out schematics. So let's go ahead and dive right into the schematics wherever they're at. All right. First and foremost, to do this, you need a killer PDF reader. Okay, I use PDF Exchange Viewer. It's probably got some of the best search functions I've ever seen in a PDF viewer. Without further ado, let's go ahead and find our component. So let's do a capacitor. Okay, so right here we have C3102. Okay, now imagine, if you will, for one moment that first off, it's irrelevant where this is at. Okay, I'm just showing you how to actually find it. Okay, not it, but the replacement component. Okay, so we don't actually need to look at a board view or anything like that to understand what's actually going on with this component to see what the next step is. Okay, all we need to do is look at the specifications of the component itself. So if we look at C3102, we will see that this is a 100 picofarad capacitor. And the size of it, if you look down here, this right here, this small little number, usually you'll see like 0201, 01.5. Those are some of the general really small ones. But if you do your research, you can see the other sizes. Your size is going to be down here at the bottom, and then you're also going to see the actual technical specification of it right here. So this is a 100 picofarad capacitor, and the size of it is 01.5. Now, you must use the same size component in the same size spot. Reason I say that is because when you're working in the micro like this, the bigger stuff is just not going to fit. That's why they're using these smaller packages, or they would just use bigger in whatever. Anyway, so like I said, 100 picofarad, and the size is 01.5. Now we see right here there's a C in front of it. Okay, that right there tells us that it's a capacitor. This right here, the C3102, is called a reference designator. Okay, it is referencing the designation of the component. Okay, so the reference designator is C. So this is capacitor C3102. C3102. I'm sorry. And like I said, once again, this is a 100 picofarad capacitor, and the size of it is 01.5. Now that we've got that in our head, let's see if we can find another one. Now, like I said before, we are using PDF Exchange Viewer. I'll go ahead and put a link down here so you can download it. There is a free version, which is great. It's what I use right now. But now that we have the information we need, all we're going to need to do is load up PDF Exchange Viewer, and I want you to take your basket of donor boards, whatever you keep all your used devices in that you use for donor components, okay? And as long as you have all the schematics available for them, you can see here that I have multiple schematics open, okay? There's a very good reason for this. I'm going to take this 100 picofarad right here, okay, and I'm going to type it in the search bar. 100 PF, 100 picofarad, okay? Now remember, we also have to remember the size, okay? This one is 01/5. This is the smallest component that I believe it's actually the smallest component commercially available on, stuff for everybody right now. I think it's 0.4, 0.8. There's a new standard that's starting to come out, but that's another thing and a whole other set of tweezers. So we're not going to go there right now. Anyway, so I've got 100 picofarad typed in right here, 100 PF. Now here's the magic. This is how you're going to look through everything all at once and find this little capacitor. Like I said, you can use components from anything as long as they are the right size and right specification, okay? So I'm going to come down here, and you see where it says, where would you like to search? This is why I love PDF Exchange Viewer. I'm going to click that. And you see that it says, in all open documents, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, and I'm going to search for it. And it's going to search through all the different schematics I have open, and it's going to look for something that matches that string, okay? And you're really only going to find that string inside the specification table of a component. Yeah, you see where I'm going with this now? So, if that's the case, and we know this is a 100 picofarad capacitor, and it is 0.1/5 in size. That's two little baby details, not a big deal. All we're going to do is head on over here to the search bar. You see how we've got tons of stuff that popped up. So for the iPhone SE, let's click something. Well, look at that. We clicked one here. It took us into the schematic for the iPhone SE. We can see here that C0510 is a 100 picofarad capacitor, and it is 0.1/5 for the size. That is exactly the component we need on a device that's not the same as the one we're working on. I cannot believe my alarm is going off right now. Anyway, with that being said, we have found our replacement component. Now, calm down now. We need to find that component, okay? Like I said, if you have schematics with proper, simplified board views attached to them, you can always head on up there. You can search individually in that one specific PDF, and you can find out where it's at, take it off, put it on the other spot, and as long as your diagnosis was correct, you're good to go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump over to ZXW tool, and we're going to see if we can find this. So this is C0510 on the SE, which is already open. Cool. C0510. Let's see if it finds it. Ooh, looky right there. Now, if we zoom in, there we go, we see it. You can see it right there. It's a 100 picofarad 0.1/5 component. Now, smarter, not harder, guys. Okay, something to note here, and something that you might want to check out is where it's at. Okay, if it's in a not easily accessible location, maybe a good idea to look for one in a different spot. The cool thing about these little components is they're everywhere. I'm talking about sometimes these boards have 20 or 30 of the same component, which is amazing. So every one of those old damaged boards that you have, I'm talking about they're worth thousands of dollars for every broke one you get. Okay, so make sure you keep them all. So hey, I really hope you learned something today. In fact, if you liked the video, go and hit right over down there and hit the like button. And if you're not already subscribed and you want to start checking out all my stuff weekly, just head on over to the other side and hit subscribe. Now, if you are super about it and you want to learn everything that I'm trying to teach, whoop, boom, hit that notification bell, all right? It's really important. That way, every single time I upload something, it pops up right on your phone, your computer, whatever you're doing, all right? And hey, check it out. Maybe you have an opinion about what I'm doing right now. Or maybe you even used my technique on a repair and it worked for you. If any of these things apply to you, or maybe you just want to say hi, hit me up with a comment. I love them. Seriously, I love the comments. They're my favorite. Every time I get one on my phone, I'm like, ooh yeah. And if you are one of those people that is about to look me up on Instagram to ask me what equipment I use, well, guess what? I already got you. Don't even worry about it. Hit the description, boom, right down at the bottom has everything in a big old list. If there's something that I didn't put on there, then hit me up on Instagram, The Phone God, check out my stuff, then hit me up and let me know what you need. And don't forget, I'm Justin, and this is The Art of Repair.